What's the hardest punch or kick you've received?
The hardest punch I received was from a guy named Sugar Rashad Evans. He caught me with an overhand right. It was the same exact punch he punched Chuck Liddell with. It wasn't that he hit me so hard, it was the speed of the punch. I mean, you can tighten up and or you can just let your arm hang loose and just let it swing, almost like an overhand slap. Bro, he hit me so fast, I had no clue what it was. He just caught me right at the edge of my chin, and I remember my feet came out from underneath me, and I couldn't control my legs, and then I refocused, and I was able to stand. That was by far the fastest I've ever been hit, and thank God I didn't become unconscious, but I should have been.
I looked at his wife, I looked at his kids, I looked at everything. I looked at everything and who he was and how he lived his life. And I followed him all the way until the fight. Everything he said, everything he did, anything anybody said about him. And I dialed in exactly who he was.
You're not that important, Dominic.
Man, we'll see how important I am when you're on your back, though.
But you're a pawn in this game, bro. DC, all of them, bro. You're a pawn in this game. I'm trying to be great, bro, and you're just a part of it. Everyone's undefeated before they fight me, bro. You're not special, Dominic.
So here's what happened. This is a textbook case of mental warfare, completely reshaping the trajectory of one of MMA's greatest careers. We're looking at how Dominic Reyes managed to crawl inside Jon Jones's mind in ways that nobody else had ever accomplished.
During that press conference, he realized I wasn't just a guy that he could just run over, and he thought he was going to do that. And then he started talking to me and hearing me talk, and hearing my conviction and hearing my journey and how convinced I was that I'm going to beat you.
Let him have it. Let the kid have it, John. You've had a great career. You've done a lot of great things. This kid, he wants it. He's hungry for it. John, it's okay. It's okay if you come up short in this one. Just don't let him knock you out. And then I thought about that. It's a decision to give up on yourself. And something just as clear as that other voice.
Reyes wasn't just showing up to train and hoping for the best. This guy was operating on a completely different level. He spent months breaking down every aspect of Jones's personality, dissecting his interviews, studying his behavior patterns, creating this detailed map of who Jones really was as a person and a fighter. While most challengers were focused on technique and conditioning, Reyes was building something far more dangerous: absolute certainty that he could dethrone the king. This wasn't fake confidence or media hype. This was genuine belief rooted in deep psychological preparation that made him infinitely more threatening than Jones realized.
Not you, not today. And I just made the decision. Maybe you're going to win this one, but you're going to have to fight me. But we got, 23 minutes left? Yeah, we're going to have to fight. And we ended up getting that hand raised.
After a close fight with Dominic Reyes, Jones' dominance starts to look uncertain.
Going into the last round, I had Dominic Reyes 3-1 going into the last round.
At the same time, Francis is back on a knockout streak, so Jones calls out Francis.
Is Jon Jones going to go in and fight Francis Ngannou?
To fight Francis.
The transformation starts happening right before our eyes during the build-up. You could see it in real time. Reyes spoke with this unshakable conviction that cut through all the usual fight promotion noise. This wasn't generic trash talk. This was authentic belief that Jones could feel in his bones. For maybe the first time in years, Jones understood this wouldn't be another easy night at the office. When Jones later talked about that voice in his head saying, "Let him have it," that was pure evidence of the psychological damage Reyes had already inflicted before the cage door even closed. Sure, Jones managed to pull out the decision, but that moment of genuine uncertainty created a crack in what seemed like an impenetrable mental fortress. The kind of damage that doesn't just disappear.
Jones asked for an unprecedented amount of money.
Told my lawyer he wants what Deontay Wilder was paid. I think it was $30 million. And for the amount of money he's asking for, it's not going to happen.
In response, Jon Jones vacates the light heavyweight title.
He dropped a bombshell on us. Where do we go with Jon Jones from here? I mean, it sounds like heavyweight's inevitable at this point.
Yeah, when he's ready to fight, he'll let us know.
Everything shifted after that fight. The mystique that Jones had carefully built over an entire decade suddenly looked fragile and questionable. These words perfectly capture what really went down that night. Jones had just survived his first genuinely close battle, where huge portions of the MMA world thought he'd actually been beaten. The decision sparked debates that raged for months. Then, almost immediately, he's calling out Francis Ngannou for a heavyweight showdown. Was this legitimate ambition or calculated misdirection? It felt like a fighter who'd been genuinely shaken was actively seeking a new storyline that would create distance from the uncomfortable reality of what had just happened at light heavyweight.
decision for the UFC in recent memories.
This seems to be a shock to everybody, including Francis Ngannou.
It was shocking and funny at the same time.
I responded to his manager. He was saying we were shocked by this. I said, that's a bunch of bullshit. You knew this was coming if we didn't get a deal done.
What's bothering me is the fact that to promote that fight, they were trying to discredit me and pretend like...
If you don't want to fight, no problem. Fly around the world, go on vacations, and do whatever the hell you want to do.
The business side tells the whole story. Right after surviving Reyes, Jones starts making financial demands that were absolutely unprecedented. We're talking about Deontay Wilder money, completely different universe numbers. When the UFC wouldn't meet those terms, he vacates the title and disappears for 3 full years. This wasn't just contract negotiation tactics over minor details. Had that Reyes experience damaged Jones' psychological armor so severely that he now required record-breaking compensation to justify any risk? Or was this strategic career management designed to avoid potential losses while waiting for the perfect heavyweight scenario? Either way, the division evolved without him, new champions emerged, and his entire career path changed because of this decision to step back right after the Reyes controversy.
The contract says that, not me.
Okay, so you will be done. Contract will be over December of 2022.
Time was now on Francis's side. His contract is about to expire.
Will it be a priority to get that done quickly, you think, as fast as you can?
Yeah. I want to get it done as soon as possible.
The UFC starts throwing millions at Francis.
We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody.
Meanwhile, watch what happens to Francis Ngannou. The UFC's immediate move to book an interim title fight and publicly shame Francis for allegedly being on vacation showed everyone exactly how the promotional power structure operated. They shaped the narrative aggressively, claiming he didn't want to compete when he wouldn't take a short notice replacement. Jones, fresh off his own brutal negotiation battles and extended absence, definitely took notes on this entire situation. It demonstrated the razor-thin line fighters walk with the promotion and the consequences of pushing too hard. This probably reinforced Jones's own careful approach to career decisions and made that potential Ngannou super fight even more complex from every angle.
He's finally back. Jon Jones taking on Ciryl Gane in the vacant, undisputed heavyweight title.
The greatest fighter that the UFC has ever seen is...
I can't ever remember energy like that when an athlete hit the stage. Shades of Conor McGregor. And of course, we have the consensus greatest of all time now fighting for that prize.
It's time!
To even compare Francis Ngannou or Ciryl Gane to Jon Jones, you can't even compare him to this guy. Anybody deny this guy is the GOAT anymore? I don't think anybody would deny it. Not only is he the greatest light heavyweight ever.
Francis Ngannou turned his contract situation into a masterpiece of strategic patience. By understanding exactly how that 5-year clause worked and what limitations it created for the UFC, he basically weaponized time itself. The promotion ended up throwing historic amounts of money at him, deals that would have completely shattered heavyweight pay records. This entire public negotiation was happening while Jones sat on the sidelines supposedly preparing for heavyweight competition. The financial expectations being set and the power dynamics being exposed created massive complications for Jones's own heavyweight dreams, because Ngannou's negotiations had just raised the bar for mega fight payouts to almost impossible heights.
You're the greatest heavyweight of all time, and that's what I want.
But what the world really wants is a fight between Jones and Francis.
Do you have response to Francis Ngannou referring to himself?
Francis is a big old put.
I want to announce you that I'm officially partnering up with the PFL. This is the best business decision I have ever done.
PFL is going to pay this guy to train for a boxing match that may not even happen and that they might not even be involved in. How does that make any sense?
With this move, the PFL and its founder, Don Davis, send a clear signal to every single UFC fighter.
I'm a top fighter.
3 years later, Jones finally returns against Ciryl Gane at heavyweight. The media immediately started calling him the heavyweight GOAT after one performance. This comeback against Gane, who was skilled but maybe not the division's most dangerous threat, felt like careful strategic planning designed to wash away the memory of that controversial Reyes decision and rebuild his aura of dominance. It was reputation repair through spectacular performance. But even with this impressive showing, the ghost of the Francis fight that never materialized, and other dangerous contenders like Tom Aspinall, still cast shadows over both the division and Jones's legacy.
Each day at night, I mean, it's life-changing.
That's the bullshit publicly that people believe, but that's not the truth.
Okay, so he would have made more.
Total,
okay.
Total bullshit. He would have made more money if he stayed in the UFC. So he didn't want to fight John Jones. That's a fact.
Everyone said he was an idiot for walking away from the UFC, and now all of a sudden he's a genius, isn't he? Guy's about to make $10 million. Come on!
The entire MMA universe wanted Jones versus Ngannou. After Jones looked so dominant against Gane, this felt like the obvious super fight that would settle all arguments. Instead, in a development that stunned everyone, Francis parts ways with the UFC completely and signs with PFL, instantly killing any realistic chance of that dream matchup happening. This perfectly illustrates how dramatically the heavyweight landscape had shifted after the Reyes fight. Jones's extended absence and massive financial demands, combined with Francis' own legitimate grievances about UFC compensation, meant the biggest heavyweight fight in history never happened when both men were at their peak. This left fans worldwide wondering if Jones's more cautious career approach, possibly born from that Reyes wake-up call about his own mortality, had cost him the chance to face the baddest man on earth when it truly mattered.
Whether or not you would fight Tom Aspinall. I have some conversations to have with Dana and Hunter. We have some negotiating to do. And if everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see.
From day one, I've been confident that John Jones would do that fight.
I would love to fight John Jones, mate.
Fight John Jones for it, that would be pretty cool.
I want to fight John Jones, man.
Hey, I'm not going to do this Saturday. You don't want to do it? No, because it's going to be an Aspinall fest. I'm not going to. Let's go.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Dana White's claim that Francis didn't want to fight Jones remains heavily disputed, but it fits perfectly into this post-Reyes narrative. Whether that's actually true or just promotional storytelling, it reinforced the growing perception that getting Jones into the cage with the most dangerous heavyweights had become incredibly difficult. The endless negotiations, the unprecedented money demands, the apparent avoidance of certain matchups, everything pointed toward a champion who, after being pushed to his breaking point by Reyes and tasting vulnerability, had become extremely selective about his opposition. This created widespread frustration among hardcore fans about unfulfilled potential in super fights that should have happened, but somehow didn't.
Tom Aspinall.
I'll see you guys later.
That's it.
He gave them a price tag. He said, I'll do it for this number.
What number?
I believe it's in the $30 million range. They eventually got to the $30 million. John said he was in.
John Jones was offered the deal and accepted the deal.
Does that mean John Jones has agreed?
I don't think so, but I think I don't know what in all honesty, John Jones is like, nobody knows what he's doing, even the UFC.
But he hasn't signed a contract, right?
Then Tom Aspinall emerges as the legitimate interim heavyweight champion, absolutely destroying everyone in his path. Suddenly, all attention shifts to him challenging Jones for the undisputed crown, and the pressure intensifies dramatically. This situation perfectly captures the mounting expectations for Jones to face the next generation of heavyweight killers. His post-Reyes career had become defined by delays, endless negotiations, missed super fights that fans desperately craved, and now the emergence of a genuinely dangerous new threat in Aspinall that he seemed hesitant to engage. The constant discussions with Dana and Hunter Campbell, the perpetual back and forth over terms, reinforced the growing perception that his willingness to take dangerous fights without perfect conditions had fundamentally changed since Reyes showed him his own humanity.
Right.
And then 2 days later, 3 days later, whatever, he said, nah, on second thought, I'm out. And once he said he was out, he was never back in.
It's done, but it's not done.
There is nowhere that you can find publicly, nowhere, him saying that he will fight me.
If there were to be a fight legacy worth it, it would be Alex Pereira.
Do you have a cut-off point in your mind of when to get that?
No, it's going to happen. It's. I guarantee you, this fight's going to happen. This fight's going to happen. Fight's going to happen.
Not a chance. I will retire John Jones without even fighting him.
John Jones called us last night and retired. John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
The situation reaches peak absurdity when Jones reportedly demands $30 million to fight Aspinall, a number that seems specifically calculated to be impossible to meet. Despite reports that the UFC initially agreed to these record-shattering terms, the subsequent confusion about Jones's actual intentions revealed just how unpredictable his post-Reyes decision-making had become. The astronomical financial requirements, the never-ending negotiation cycles, and the constant uncertainty about whether he'd actually compete again became the defining features of this career phase. It really shows how that Reyes experience, combined with understandable desires for financial security after years of being underpaid compared to boxers, had transformed Jones into someone primarily motivated by record-breaking paydays rather than simply facing the next challenge because it existed. Finally, we reach what might be the ultimate conclusion of the post-Reyes Jon Jones era. Reports surface that Jones has agreed to fight Aspinall with contracts ready for signatures, only for him to suddenly reverse course completely. He announces his retirement, and Tom Aspinall gets declared undisputed heavyweight champion in his absence. This erratic behavior and final refusal to face the legitimate #1 contender really represents what many consider the most disappointing chapter of Jones's incredible career. That relentless drive for greatness and legacy that powered his early dominance when he was demolishing legends seemed to have been fundamentally altered by what the Reyes fight revealed about his vulnerability. We're left with a former champion who, after one too many reality checks about his own mortality, ultimately chose to walk away rather than consistently face the most dangerous challenges the way the prime version of Jon Jones would have done without thinking twice.